exactly are doing. So when the crimes came out, there's nowhere for them to run.
I don't think the idea drew attention. I think I think it was TikTok. I think it was the media.
I'm not talking about the idea of Israel. If these people were smart, from the moment they created their state, there would have been a media blackout of Israel. Israel, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Israel should have, if they were smart, Israel should have become as irrelevant of a country in U.S. news and British news and Western news as Somalia.
You know, there's also
no one care or know what's
being conditioned, obviously, in the school, education system, just being like there's slavery and the Holocaust. Those are the only fucking goddamn atrocities that are main focusly taught. From fucking who knows, 8, 9, 10 years old and shit like that. Outside of that, everything is just like a sidebar of things that have happened. So I won't harp on it too much, but I mean, just let me know if I'm wrong. But okay, you know what? I'm going to say something kind of crazy. Yeah, the Holocaust was bad. I can't believe I said that, right? but to even on people as if other things weren't bad and to focus on, it allowed people to just say, oh no, we can't have another Hitler. Using Hitler in a poor format for examples or stuff like that. Saying things are anti-Jewish and anti-Semitic. Bro, everything is anti-Semitic. Like, goddamn, you know what I mean? So when you
go that far. Both of them happened to kill twice as many people as Hitler in the same decade. Unsurprisingly, they both happen to be Jewish. There's a reason you will never hear about the Ukrainian Holodomor in any history textbook. I learned there was literally a paragraph of it in my world history class in 9th grade. Insignificant detail, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want people to scrutinize that. You don't want people to examine. Why was it when 11 million Ukrainians bit the dust, 80% of the KGB was Jewish? 50% of the Soviet Politburo Jewish, 11 of 13 major gulags in the Soviet Union Jewish, right? If they were smart, they would have made Israel as irrelevant news-wise and attention-wise and focus-wise as any other country in Africa or Asia. But they're not smart because they're too narcissistic.
No, but there's a catch-22 there. If you're going to get as much military aid as you need to perpetrate this project of religious supremacy over the whole region with a 100-year plan of taking everything from the Nile to Euphrates and all of that jazz, you need a lot of support. In order to get that much support, you need public opinion to be on your side. In order to get public opinion on your side, you need to constantly blast the media saying that Israel is number one ally, blah, 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 blah. So,
yes.
If you could do it on your own economically, then yes, absolutely keep it out of the media. But since you need America's help to do it, both economically and diplomatically, then no, you need to blast it.
Yes, but that's why I'll always say the smartest Jews in the world were, the Bolsheviks turned out to be pretty retarded for their own different reasons. But those of the young Turks in Turkey and the leftist faggots that are in America both have basically said, you ethnocidal fucks. They both basically said that Israel is not really their concern. Why would I fight for Israel when I can rule my empire here and, mask myself in between the larger masses? Yeah, these are the smartest Jews. Ben-Gvir, Netanyahu, and all these people are retarded. Soros funds both sides. He literally funds, anti-Israel protests, and then funds pro-Israel protests. No one really focuses on this guy, right? Except some wild MAGA conspiracy theorists. But these guys are intelligent. The ones in Tel Aviv running around shooting people, putting their name on something, they're gonna get fucked at that.
No, 1,000,000%. And just jumping in real quick, I just appreciate you because this is more so, if nothing else, a learning experience for me. So everything that you guys are saying, I appreciate because these are clearly things I wasn't taught.
Wow, what an educational experience this young guy is getting attached to.
Be kind to the Jews. Okay, why? You know what I mean? Let me not go that route. But no, anyways, basically all I'm saying is I appreciate y'all because y'all are doing the service that is necessary for anybody who has questions with conflicts like this. So whatever, take that for what it is. But it's interesting to see, you know, because you clearly know, or I'm sure we're all aware of the blinded American citizen, right? Who's just like, oh well, I'm just going to support Israel because they're our greatest ally. It's like, did you not question anything? Like, did you not? You know, do you just have your blinders on? Do you truly use the media as your arbiter of truth? It's like, well, Israel said that Hamas is bad, so it's got to be bad. Oh, so the children, the women, the kids, the goddamn all these murders, the hospitals getting bombed. Like, you just put your blinders on that one, like, you know. So getting out of that, you know. I hate to use these movie tropes and stuff like that, but getting out of that matrix, that mindset of like, oh, what the government tells me is right, like, that's what's going to save your life. Because what people don't realize is that if Israel gets their way, there is not going to be any America. There's not going to be your land of the free. There's not going to be your freedom of speech. There's not going to be your right to bear arms, your constitutional rights. And all that shit gone, Israel going to have its way. Because it's going to have its way with its country, and it's going to fucking, there's a word I'm looking for, it's like, fuck it, infected into everywhere else. And it's like, bro, if that's what you want, it's coming. So either keep your eyes open, you know, really truly figure out who the enemy is. Is Hamas infiltrating the American lifestyle? I don't think so. Last time I checked, I don't see anybody saying, oh man, Hamas is controlling the government and the courts and the money and the entertainment and all this other stuff, right? And the music, all the other stuff. So why am I afraid of Hamas? I really should be afraid of them. The Zionists, you know what I'm talking about? So I'm leaving it at that. I'm going to shut up. I've been on rambling. But yeah.
Well, you know what proves that point is the fact that Netanyahu, 20-something years ago, maybe, I don't know, maybe the clip that was from the 80s, I'm not sure, but he basically said that they have all the presidents in their back pocket, all right? And that basically, you know, I mean, America pretty much is Israel because they're pretty much their property. So, you know, it's just kind of interesting to see how the logic of people in America it shows you that a lot of people in America are not really informed about who runs this country and certain particulars and certain things that are going on. You know, like the bankers, pretty much all of them are Jewish, and they own the fucking America. They own the treasury. They own a lot of things. So it's like, it is what it is. But you know, people are not gonna. They're gonna find out very soon, you know, once they establish a lot of things. So I'll land on this. It's funny how people were talking about how Trump was talking about the flag that they're trying to make it illegal to be burned. They also were talking about the Israeli flag as well. So you can't burn those two flags, or you can burn everybody else's flag. So it's just.
No, 100%. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to stem from your constitutional rights because it's going to merge into there. Oh, this is our greatest ally. So if we can't burn the American flag, I guess we can't burn. I'm really not even trying to hit the America first type of thing or whatever, right? But it's more so just protect your own country. Like, why do you need the help of Israel? What benefit does Israel have to the American people? None. It's a net negative. It doesn't. I swear to God, it doesn't, right? Because here's the thing, unfortunately, Zionists only have their best interests for them. They don't go out and help other communities and all this other stuff, right?
But if it was the other way around, if they had the same financial backing, like if they had the same amount of pull, power, I mean they do, but I'm saying if they had the same amount of money that America does, and let's say the roles were reversed, and America was in war with someone else, right? I guarantee you, Israel would not give them nowhere near as much the amount of budget that the American America has done that. It's done for them, you know.
And I want to flip the question on you. So can I?
Ain't nothing gonna fucking happen.
So there we go.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just where it's going. I mean, you know, there's other things as well that's being put in. You know, you also have to worry about the Vatican as well, but. You know, at the same time, I mean, it's very much looking like this is where it's going. This is the place where it's going to in America, obviously.
100%, man. Now we get it clearly. Obviously, there's nothing I'm gonna say that's something that you don't know or whatever. But yeah. This is super unfortunate for me. But I'm gonna keep it real. America's, I don't know when. So I don't know if I'm gonna say it's getting soft or has gotten soft, but it is soft right now. Like they're just soft, bro. Like America's not, bro. As soon as you know what it is, bro. As soon as them towers got knocked down, America, like that really showed America. Well, actually, no, because we definitely did some crazy shit. So Afghanistan, right, all that other shit, right. But outside of that, bro, it's just been pure virtue signaling. Oh, cool. It's not even like kumbaya type shit. It's just been just weird on their back. America's laid on their back and let just demonic ghouls take over. Now, is that also stemming from like whatever kind of sicko shit Epstein had with the dirt on people, and that's why the government's like, oh shit, well damn, no, we've been infected by Israel or the Zionists, whatever the fuck, because he's Messiah and all this other shit. Yeah, I'll go for it. Like, come on, bro. That's why that's why I look at America like, damn, this shit not the same country. And two, that's why I got the fuck out of there, bro. Like, I don't want to be associated with just mental retarded, poor decision making, not caring about your country shit, bro. Like, that's not America to me. It's not. So,
well, I mean, they got the president they want in office. I mean, he's a staunch Zionist and Jesuit, and the Jesuits, they're a Jewish Catholic alliance. So, and like I said, Trump is a staunch follower of both. So, I mean, he's going to enact whatever the hell they want him to do. So, and the funny thing is, the people that voted him in, the people that are on the far right. It's funny how he's sitting up here slapping them in the face right now, saying anybody talking about the Epstein file, which I mean, I think it's a distraction personally, but still the fact that he put so much emphasis on bringing it out, and then now when he's put on the spot, he says he's giving these people the middle finger, saying, "Oh well, if you talk about it, you're weird," or pretty much it's like you have to be mentally retarded and mentally simple, man, to still be supporting that guy. Sorry, I just got out of negative 5 degrees freezing.
cold death or not?
Nah.
Just had to walk in.
Not working.
Gotcha. No, you could. I can imagine this. Pretty cool. Yeah. No, but I mean, that's one of those things, though. It's like, but that's what he ran on, right? Like he ran on saying, "I'm gonna stop these wars. I'm gonna, expose these files that Joe Biden didn't want to do." And then, either somebody gets in his ear, or shit, there's more damning evidence on him than he probably even knew. Because you never know. Maybe bro was like, "Oh man, I probably did these shits in the 80s or 90s with Epstein, but like, there's probably no video." Nah, boom, hit him with a video. Oh, he said, "Oh shit, no." You never know. Because but what we do know is that shit happened, and it's currently happening with certain Zionists getting caught doing pedophilic shit and then just getting sent straight back to Israel. So like it's a continuing, ongoing thing. So really, it's damn near, if you got that dirt on your name, you're guilty. Because the thing is, they're not talking about it. So the fact that it even gets brought up or you're questioned, how'd you find yourself in that situation? Nah, bro. Honestly, if you even get an inkling of questioning about touches of kids, you feel
Maybe we'll punch it and show
what is we talking about? Like what? No. So it's just like, but they support that shit, and like I said, like I keep going with like maybe that's just how they're run, or that's how you get on the end of the fucking powers that be. But that's not some shit I want to associate with. That's not why do my political political representatives have to be in weirdo shit from genocide all the way down. I'm just not cool with it. I don't like it. And I'm gonna just keep, all I can do is just keep calling this shit out. I'm not unfortunately in any power or say so to, change the.
Oh, really?
In my mind. This is why I talk with you.
People in the background were like naturally healthy and tanned and beautiful, and I'm like, this is such a great little, not meaning to be documentary, but it's a little slice of time before plastic surgery really started to take over Hollywood.
I was going to mention the plastic surgery of the 90s is not the plastic surgery of today. I don't know. It's just so, I don't know. Why did it seemed like it looked so bad. I don't know. Is that rude?
Yeah. No, well, I mean, it's factual. Right? It's just factual, and it's also, it kind of, okay, this is complicated, as is everything else going on over right now, because it kind of exposes that people don't quite have a very realistic view in their mindset about them. Body dysmorphia is a real thing.
Yeah, and of course,
I say that kind
our
of
culture, our pop culture does it, is very promoting of what's okay and what's not okay. I mean, you remember, who is it? Isn't it Harrison Ford who's married to, oh God, it's the really thin, remember the whole lollipop thing going on? They call it the lollipop look. It was like back during like Friends, and it was like
Twiggy?
people were so
Twiggy
rail
looking?
twigged. Yeah, twigged out totally, and then now we've seen like where it's okay to have some weight on you, And it's been interesting to see the ebbs and flows of like pop culture.
You would think
Well, it's sad. It's
Yeah,
it's
close
sad.
to that.
I mean, body shapes, and facial features should not be trends, right? Where everybody's going to get their bodies look a certain. It's pretty fucking. I'm sorry, it's pretty sick actually. That people try to shape their bodies according to whatever is popular at that time, and it's not going to work out well in the end. You can't keep morphing your body like that and come out okay.
So I was just listening to this podcast with this professor who researches that very thing, and who described this reality that women. She described this situation that basically women are competing with other women at all times, and here I'll come back. You guys talk.
No, intrasexual competition is stronger than between. So within the sex, there's competition, and that's a biological thing that's real. But the other things we've sort of crafted around that, and what we think is competing. And like I said, the idea that a body shape should be en vogue is that's a culture thing that's just nutty that we even do that, and that these women, they get the BBLs, they take then they take their butts out and then put in the lip filler, take it out, take out the fat from the cheeks, put it back. It's crazy.
Okay, so what I was trying to say was I listened to this documentary. The woman's a professor. She described how women are always competing with other women, and the trends follow women's. How do I describe this? Because I'm trying to paraphrase it. Women convince other women to do things that men don't like on purpose. So women are trying to basically outcompete the women around them, and by doing that, for instance, when Twiggy was big, men liked thicker women at that time. So society and culture, woman fashion culture pushed super skinny girls, because a woman promoting a super skinny girl to men knows that the man is going to pick her over the super skinny girls. And then you fast forward, and it flipped over time. It flipped. So now pop culture and women suggest that being heavy is a good thing and attractive because men don't like heavy dicks as much as they used to. And so women do that because they know that they are limiting the chances, they're increasing their chances of having men come back to them, and how fashion culture follows this trend throughout history. And it was super interesting.
So what you're telling me is that women have never dressed for the male gaze. Only the female gaze. Got it. Perfect. I love it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is, right?
Indirectly, yes. Yeah.
I mean, if I just, my casual listening to men speak versus women, I think women are much more critical of other women than men are of women.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's so easy as a woman for me to just totally dismiss a man. If you're like, just like, okay, bye, whatever. But if a woman, I will harp on a woman. No, you get right. You're making our gender look bad. Yeah, I would do that. Yeah. Damn, do I need to work on that?
I won't lie, but sexually speaking, when it comes to super, super thin women, it's a very bruising experience. When you wake up and you wonder why you felt like you got punched in the lower pelvis, and you're like, why is that? You're like, oh shit, I got bruised. Okay, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave right there. Don't go any further. Sorry.
It's a really good. Yeah, it's a good point.
A little cushion is nice, okay? Not too bony, please. I mean, that's my preference. We all have preferences.
Well, you know why sex is like a box of Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Why?
I can't wait to learn, John. Tell us.
I'm feeling I know what you're saying.
Leave us hanging.
There you go.
After you're done with the breast and the thigh, the only thing left to do is to stick your bone back in the greasy box.
What in the hell, John? We can rely on
campaign trail. That's what he opens up for speeches.
Excuse me.
At least he didn't say it was finger looking good.
We're in the muff, ladies and gentlemen.
John, I swear to God, I have what do you call it? I feel like I'm getting reverse multiple personality disorder because you have so many damn accounts with different pictures. I'm like, oh, it's that John. You're fucking my brain up, bro.
Well, it's a you problem. Are you sure you're not projecting?
Well, I don't know, man. So many accounts just gets confusing sometimes.
It's a you problem. Are you sure you're not projecting?
Why not just one main one, like, and maybe a couple? What's the take on having so many? Like, honestly, I don't think I've ever heard anyone ask that question.
I don't know if you know about this latest purge, but they clipped a bunch of people's accounts, and they clipped 4 of mine. So this is the newer account.
So you only have 37 accounts left? Is that what you're saying?
Did they give you a reason why?
No, they don't give you a reason why.
Huh. That's interesting.
Have you ever called Clubhouse customer service? Did you call Has anyone here ever called Clubhouse customer service to find out what's wrong with their account?
I don't think they have a phone number to call.
I've sent an email. And they returned my email in about 2 days. But this is, I mean, I think that their customer service department is right here in this room. Meaning that
now, John,
it's in the muff?
How many apples do you have? How many apples or Androids do you have in totality? What is the total number now? I'm curious.
I've got about 60 phones in this office right now.
Wow. Are they all apples? Are they Androids, apples? What
Right now I film off of 2 like really nice iPhone 13s that live stream to YouTube, and that's all the apples that I'm using right now.
So you were aware of yesterday's glitch, right? With Android not working.
John has a YouTube account, and you can see a lot of his work in there if you're curious. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like
it's
5 years of your life sucked into YouTube without your permission. You're like, how did he find so much time to record so much of me, wasting so much of my time talking on Cloudhouse?
We are not wasting time, John. We are being productive citizens. Yes.
Now, John, if you do end up creating a Netflix original of Clubhouse, which you probably should consider, you do know that you're going to need to pay all of this, right?
Let's not go down that path right now because we have no Netflix deal. And if you haven't even spent 5 minutes actually looking at my YouTube, you might realize pretty quickly that all my footage would never make it to Netflix because it's not Netflix quality. It's being filmed on a cell phone of a cell phone.
But a documentary of a documentary of a reality documentary documentary.
That's not hard to do. You can bring that quality up real quick.
I think the best reality is Clubhouse, to be honest. I mean, you see the reality shows, I'm going, geez, this is far more entertaining. It can be.
Anyone here know what the fastest way to get into the muff is?
Diving.
With moisture?
Money, 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 money.
So money, moisture, and what was Moose?
Muff dive. Gotta dive.
Muff diving. Okay. No, you guys got it all wrong. It's poetry. I know you guys are from the 21st century, but I'm just saying that poetry is the quickest way to get into the muff.
Is it yours or somebody else's?
It's my poetry, of course.
I thought it would be dancing. I think dancing would be the quickest way to get into the muff.
Well, they say just join the dance and the partners will find themselves.
Does anybody have any urban gardening tips?
What about?
Huh? Where's Dima when you need her? Where is she?
I can tell you about cucumbers.
Yeah, tell me about cucumbers. Actually, when would you grow it, and what kind of potting should I? I have a little compost guy that I make my own soil, which is fucking sick. But other than that, I need help.
Okay, let me turn my TV down or off or whatever it wants to.
Yeah, you know how they have gossamer little bags?
Oh yeah.
For gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Get really long ones, and then you put it. I know this sounds nuts, but bear with me here. You guys have a pest or a bird, rodent, things like that. If you put them around each vegetable, it keeps the birds from getting it. And then what you'll want to do also is, this should be okay for urban stuff. Get some gravel. Just one technique is gravel, and because you don't want the vegetables to be sitting on the ground, it'll rot as they grow.
So in my situation now, I have a nice little terrace. It gets great sun. I have planters.
Yes.
I have. It's just a little terrace. It's not that big. It's like a simple balcony. It's so cute.
Do you have balcony?
Oh my God.
Do you have the
I thought you said
balcony?
you had a nice little terrace. I misheard
I have one of those too.
Instead of using, you can use the bags, but you can actually, if the vegetable starts to grow, you can, and it's hanging on the.
When she lives, she moves with all the careless and high-stepping grace. The extravagant courtesan's thin face, a slimmer waist in a ballroom wood, a floating robe in royal amplitude. Holes in deep folds around a dry foot shod, with a bright flower-like shoe that gems the sod.
I don't have a lot of space, and I don't have.
The swarms that hum about her collarbones, as the lascivious streams caress the stones. Concealed from every scornful jest that flies, her gloomy beauty and her fathomless eyes. I'm made of shade and void with flowery sprays, her skull is wreathed artistically in sways. Feeble and weak are her frail vertebrae. Oh, charm of nothing, decked in folly they, who laugh and name you a caricature. They see not, they whom flesh and blood allure, the nameless grace of every bleached bare bone that is most dear to me, tall skeleton. Come you to trouble with your potent snare the feast of life, or are you driven here to pleasure's sabbath? By dead lusts that stirred and goad your moving corpse on with a spur? Or do you hope when sing the violins, and the pale kindled flame lights up our sins, to drive some mocking nightmare far apart and cool the flame held lighted in your heart? Fathomless well of vault and foolishness, eternal alembic of antique distress, still o'er the curved white trellis of your sides the sackless wandering serpent curls and glides. In truth to tell, we fear lest you should find among us here no lover to your mind.
Those are some nice digs.
Which of these hearts beat for the smile you gave?
I like it.
Charms of horror pleased none but the brave. Your eyes, black gulf, where awful brooding stir brings giddiness. The prudent reveler sees while horror grips him from beneath. The eternal smile of 32 white teeth. He who has not folded in his arms a skeleton of fair and graveyard charms recks not a third blow or paint or scent when horror comes the way that beauty went. Oh, irresistible, the fleshless face. Say to these dancers in the dazzled race, proud lovers with the paint above your bones, ye shall taste death. Musk-scented skeletons, withered antennaeous dandies with plum faces, ye varnished cadavers, grey love laces, ye go to lands unknown and void of breath, drawn by the rumor of the dance of death.
Super powerful.
From Sayan's cold quays to Ganges' burning stream, the mortal troopers dance onward in a dream. They do not see within the open sky the angel's sinister trumpet raised on high. In every clime, in every sun, death laughs at ye, mad mortals, as ye run, and oft perfumes herself with myrrh, like ye, and mingles with your madness. Irony. That is L'Effet de Mort by Charles Baudelaire, read by the poet.
I was like, where's this guy? And on the side of the road, and my car started to suck the
We had
air
one
in,
person
and I was like,
significantly change their telomere length within 4 days.
Of course, we changed the air conditioning to like circulation today, but I don't mind. I smell like skunk.
Boys Town is a godsend.
It's family.
Boys Town is my support, and Boys Town is my encouragement.
If your hair deserves better shampoo and conditioner, then that's a doer that shields you from damage.
I'm like, I'm like, which account of mine is that? I was like, how am I doing that? Which account is that? I gotta check it again. Is that me? Congress channel. It's not me. Look at all those houses. Oh, this guy John's created a lot of houses on this app. He must have real mojo. Must have powerful mojo.
Wait, if you were locked up in Illinois, juvie in Cook County, the Audi home, or anywhere else in the system, this is the
The master has mastered nature, not in the sense of conquering it, but of being it.
Laid on their back and let just demonic ghouls take over.
Now, you know, you ethnocidal fox. I mean,
Those two Mossad agents literally said, and we have quite a few Jews living in Amsterdam, so I gotta read everything. Emerged as a regional superpower, but that's as of June, when we had our 12-day war.
Okay, the song is called Music of Light. It's a 3-minute Santor. Hot off the press for you, Dr. Mojo.
quite as, because obviously fresh vegetables are more expensive than frozen. But there are ways to do it. You have to get creative, and it has to be something that you want to do.
Right, that part.
Yes, the want, y'all, for sure.
For sure.
A lot of these views, by the way. But yeah, it was the room.
Testing. It kicked me.
Talk to a person, you can't come off disrespectful and then wonder why they flip out. It's because we're talking calm, and then you call this house shitty and this, that, and the third just because you don't agree with it.
No,
bro, but still, that's your
spade though.
yeah, but that's your opinion. That's your opinion.
Hey, when the market first opened, I waited for a little bit. I was at a graduation.
I understand that, but you're not in profit, and if you were, I'd tell you to sell. So, if you have time on that call, and maybe tomorrow morning, and it rockets, then that call will pick up its percentage, and you'll be back in profit. That's all I'm saying. But be careful of the market dipping between now, what is it? It's 12 o'clock, right? The brokers are at lunch, and you see what the indexes are doing. Okay, so follow the trend. In an hour, they'll be back from lunch, and maybe you'll get some up push.
Yeah,
But
get a little push. I'm not far off the money in my call at all.
Okay, good girl. And then hopefully it can last till 4 o'clock, and then keep it. And then if the numbers come out all rigged,
Sense of connection that becomes possible. This is the human condition. This weird human condition of being both together and apart, which is why also the leaning into grief and communal grief. But then it raised this question for me of what is the role of anger in grief? So that's what I'm sitting with right now.
Yeah, that's a really good question. I would think that the anger is related to wanting to blame someone, whether someone out there, the universe at large, or oneself for not having done other things, and that's trying to kind of
His music of light.
Move away from the grief and take action on it.
His music of light. understand. His music.
Toy with his country is gonna fucking
Military or committing war crimes. Obviously, this is not the greatest system.
Okay, Mojo, I'm going to end this room. This has been Yahweh Adonai Ribbono Shalom.
Like the second day of school, she said, Miss Ashton, I think you forgot to bring in Maddie's medication. I said, what kind of medication? She's like, oh, well, all the kids in the class except for Maddie take medicine. I have it scheduled for a certain time every day. I said, my daughter does not take medication. Is she causing a problem? She's like, no. I just figured she was medicated. I almost wanted to cry. I was like, are you kidding me? All these children are medicated in that class of 20 except for my daughter? There's no way in hell. My daughter was a kid. She just played and she would do things that were crazy and act a fool. But so many of my friends can't deal to put up with their kids that all their kids are medicated. And they act like little zombies. And it's sad to watch them. Because about 15, 20 minutes after they get their medicine, they literally walk around like little zombies. I don't want my kid to do that. She can act a fool. She can tell me to shut up. She can jump down the stairs and break her arm. Like, be a kid. Work out the energy. Maybe take the classroom and get up every 45 minutes and walk through the hall, go get drinks, go outside and play for 5 minutes and come right back in. Like, I don't know, but I just don't think all these children need to be medicated. I think it's lack of parental guidance of parenting a child.
It's interesting. Jesus talked about that. Children, and of course, rising from the dead like a zombie.
Good morning, Shirley. Hey, John. Good morning. Look at God.
Like a child.
Would y'all just look at God?
Beautiful. Shirley, I'm amazed you're awake and rowdy and ready to go again. Because when I woke up this morning, you were still up.
At 12?
Yeah, I went to bed at 10 and I woke up at 11:30 and here's Miss Shirley still wide awake. Yep.
Yeah, okay, so my sister was here, and we have rehabilitated my house, and it was in much need of rehabilitation. That means we were decorating, we had fun, we shopped, we spent money. I'm not good at spending money, Beth. I can't make decisions. I won't get out.
Give it to me. I'll spend it for you.
Honey, I don't have enough to share. I wish I did. I guess that's why it's so hard for me to spend money, because there's a limited amount, you know, and every decision is. Anyway, but you're going to have to. So MG says she's redoing her house too. I'm all in. I want to hear all the details. And Beth.
Me too.
And Beth is. I won't give the details of Beth still, but she's thinking about house decorating, and we'll just leave it at that. My favorite kind of house decorating. But anyway.
I'm in the middle of doing that as well.
So what are you doing to your house, Adrian?
Well, we have a finished basement, and so one of the bedrooms in the basement, just converting that into one big walk-in closet. So the whole room is just going to be a walk-in closet. You know, took the floors down. And well, first, what we did when we first bought it, we noticed that the foundation had some problems. So, you know, we patched that up.
Yeah.
All the necessary things for that. It doesn't leak or nothing like that. So, redid the drywall down there. What else? Put in some recessed lighting. Ripped out the shower down there. Yeah. So.
Are you gonna put one back or just leave it out?
Yes, ma'am. No. We're gonna replace that whole thing, the whole bathroom.
Well, Adrian, that's what I just went through. I had a carpenter in my house for almost a month, and I got a new bathroom. And so my sister came up, and she's queen of decorating, and we went out and got knickknacks to decorate my bathroom with. It is so cute. It's so cute. Anyway, so I had fun. But I have good taste, but I just have a hard time wanting to shop by myself or pull the trigger. And then if you have your sister with you, she can say, oh, yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah. And like she would find things that I didn't see. Walking out of one of the shops, she found a $20 mirror. Anyway, just had a lot of fun.
It'd be the smallest things that add the biggest difference to,
yes.
decoration.
Yes. Anyway, so when you've been going full blast for a few days, and my grandson, see the picture that I'm in right there? That's me at my grandson's wedding. My hair did not turn out exactly the way I wanted it, but I cleaned up for the wedding, and I clean up okay. So that's good.
Yeah, Shirley, you look cute. You're bite size. I love it. That's a beautiful picture of you.
Thank you, hon. Anyway, so Serendipity, you're running the room. What's going on? New York, Mike. I'm not sure if I know Mike, but I'm sure. Hey, hon. Sorry, I was doing random
discussions. Oh, sorry, Serendipity. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. No, yeah, I was trying to get to my mute button. Yeah, no, it's just been coffee, chilling out, hanging out. Lots of different topics.
Well, I would love to read a poem in the muff.
Oh, Lord, John is back. Okay. That's up to Serendipity. Serendipity, do we want to hear another poem from John?
Let's take a poll. Let's just take a poll.
A poll in the muff, you say?
I'm always down for John poem, but
to hear John's poem. Let's just do a really quick poll.
A quick no. I like the subconscious answer there. That was great.
Oh my God, I laughed out loud. That was funny. Okay, there we go. Wallace, I think I saw that you're working on your house too.
Yeah, hey, Miss Shirley. I'm about to gut my guest bathroom. I have to do a full remodel on it. I came up to ask you how your kitchen cabinets turned out. I think that was 2 seasons ago, but I never found out how that ended up working out for you.
Well, what happened was I have a friend that moved up here who has bought a house that's a very, very dear friend from Texas. And he got involved with a good carpenter/painter. And instead of it costing me, all that drama of me stripping the cabinets, and then I got a job, and I just ended up not getting the kitchen painted. I had open for 2 years, almost 3. And I got a painter, like a real painter, and they look like a professional did them. They are beautiful. So thank you for asking, Wallace.
No, I do remember. That's what made me ask, because I remember all that drama you were going through, and that's what made me think about it, because you're on to another project, so I assumed that did get finished.
Honey, I'm $40,000 past that project. I have done I got the sample lady job so I could spend money, because most of my money is somewhere so I can maybe live independently for a long time, and I don't want to spend that money. So I went and got this job. I redid the master bathroom, the sun porch, this bathroom, have done all the floors, put a French drain front so water wouldn't stand when it rained. Let's see, the painter stripped my porch, and then it was just so hot. He decided to start working on my porch. So the my deck which is like 40 feet up in the air, is waiting for paint. Anyway, so that's the story. And it's all turned out really beautifully. The carpenter is slow, but was very good. And it's just turned out like a little dollhouse. I need to post pictures on Instagram and and send everybody to Instagram to see. Anyway, so what's your plan with the bathroom, Wallace?
It just has to be sheetrock, everything gutted. It didn't get a ceiling fan, so the previous owners hid the mold problem, and so it's like resurfaced and is unmanageable. So it just has to be totally gutted, a ceiling fan put in, and modernized, which is going to be nice. It wasn't a bad bathroom, but there's no way you could live with mold, so it totally just has to be corrected.
Oh yeah, you can't deal with that.
Did you do your flood cuts, and how far did you go? Did you go 2 or 4 feet, or did you just take out like the whole entire wall?
Huh?
Oh, your
I haven't started anything yet. I have to gut. Yeah, it's all surface and all like spotting and nothing. Even bleach won't even like just keep it away. I mean, it's the previous owners tried to paint over it and seal it and cover it, which is the wrong thing to do. The whole problem is the ventilation. So once a fan gets put in, I mean, who knows? I could get in there and find out the previous guy put the wrong sheetrock in. I don't know. It'll be interesting once I tear into it, though. And I should have started in the beginning of summer because, anyways, I'm a procrastinator. I'm in the muff.
Okay, yeah. I mean, look, I totally understand. When you do your flood cuts and stuff like that,
not to chase away what's happening, and also not to shift the gears, but to meet, in that case, it was my fear, my anxiety, this instant change of identity that I was on the threshold of maybe, and the incredible uncertainty, crazy pain, like crazy amount of uncertainty that I could have dissociated in that moment. And instead, I went for the love and I went for the connection. And I went for being awake to both the anxiety, but also the sweetness of being in connection in the middle of all of that. And I was really shocked to find out that she had not 1 but 2 heart defects that had never shown up before that, and all of the doctor's visits and all of the stuff. And that year is when I adopted a gratitude practice, because it was a year before she was going to have some kind of procedure. So there's something about how do we cope with that level of anxiety and uncertainty? Like it isn't even cope. It wasn't even coping. It's how do I be, what is in relationship? So there's something about beginning to couple some kind of overcouple, or I don't know how, but I don't even have words for what I'm trying to say, but just somehow to bring that anxiety and that uncertainty and that dread and that shift of identity, to bring all of that side by side in relationship with I guess maybe that's that sage mind, or that caring self-compassion, and that they coexist. So it isn't that anything gets replaced. It just it feels like a coexistence, and almost like a healthy overcoupling of care with all the other care for the suffering and the pain and the anxiety and the inner torment or turmoil. I'm complete-ish.
Wendy, when you say you adopted a gratitude practice, did that look like setting aside a certain amount of time every day to write down a certain number of things you were grateful for, to spend time doing that, or was it just reminding yourself to, whenever you could remember, to reflect back to yourself the gratitude that you had for different things? How did you actually build that gratitude practice? What did it look like?
I think the first thing was motivation. And then I realized that I had a belief system operating that that the more distraught I was, the more evidence that was of how much I loved my child. And I realized that there was a built-in incentive to, like a motivation, like a reward or something, for being really in the loss and in the terror and the pain of all of it. Like there was a positive identity thing. So I began to untangle that and realize, oh, actually what my daughter needs going through this whole thing for this year is a really happy, loving mom. She just needs a happy mom. That's what she really needs, is a stable, grounded, happy mom. And so, and meanwhile, so I think that I was able to look at what's the payback, what's the payoff of being in the misery of this in the terrace. That was one thing. The first thing was like acknowledging this is what's there, because then I could relate to it more skillfully without causing more harm. And then the next one was I created dog tags that I wore around my neck, that there were things like patience is possible at all moments, even this one. Another one was, may I remain lovingly undisturbed by the comings and goings of phenomena. I created these dog tags, and I would pick a dog tag, and I would wear it in the morning. And when I would notice my mind kind of going off, I would literally take hold of the dog tag, and I would just hold it. So there were all sorts of things that I did to just build in ritual in my life that kept me in a wiser relationship to this identity thing. I'm the mom of a child with two heart defects. And then the other one was I started for the first time writing down what is something that I'm grateful. Actually, what's something I'm grateful for? What is something that was satisfying? What was something I enjoyed this day? And that sort of evolved into that. And one of the things I've read was that research that gratitude practice actually it works better if it's erratic rather than sort of rote or consistent. So it's all sort of blending. But it became a very formal part of my everyday life, was practicing. And I would have to really work at noticing I'm going to be writing things down at the end of the day. It was more about how do I stay balanced in the middle of this. It wasn't so much about replacing something, because I know replacing the mind state with a different one, but it was just inclining the mind in the direction of being more balanced and beginning to associate the anxiety and the uncertainty and I guess that's it, the anxiety, the uncertainty of what was going on with her and what we were going to do, and all of the fear with a kind of a wise mind that
inspection, we took it outside somewhere.
Hilarious.
When they needed to go into when they needed to go in the wall lockers. So during inspection, our wall lockers on the inside had to be perfect as well. So you really couldn't have anything out of place. So that something like a comforter like that would go in our car in the morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And our beds would be, and our racks would be made real tight and perfect. And then, you get up in the morning and it would be kind of still made, but it's just kind of, frumpy looking or whatever. And you just tuck it in tight and move on your way.
I just want to.
My son went to boot camp, and he plays the trumpet for the National Guard in Texas. But you have to go to boot camp. And when he was a kid, I made him make his bed. But how halfway teenagers make their bed, right? And it was hilarious to me because he ended up being the best bed maker, and they were making him. They had him demonstrate bed making. I'm sorry, it was hilarious to me.
That sounds like a scam. The other thing we did is that our clothes during inspection, our uniforms, they were hanging on in our wall lockers, had to be perfect. And when I mean perfect, I mean like they couldn't even have threads on the inside of the seam on the inside of the pants if you turned them inside out. Like that's how perfect they had to be. So it's impossible to meet the standard, but they'll hold you accountable for it. So we always went and bought a whole second set of clothes, and they just sat in the wall locker the entire time. We didn't use that either. So basically, we couldn't use anything properly because the standards are too high.
By the way, speaking of health, wellness, and organization, did you guys hear about the Hegseth RFK Junior Challenge? 100 sit-ups in 10 minutes and 100 pull-ups in 10 minutes? I'm like, 100 fucking... Dude, who can do 100 pull-ups here? Anyone? That's crazy.
No, I don't even want to tell you what I got here. The presidential, y'all remember that? The presidential health fitness
awards? Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
No. I know what I was capable of at my prime, at the peak of fitness and health. I'm 46 now. I'll be sitting over here eating popcorn while the rest of y'all throw up.
I've never known. Well, we had to do our pull-ups in 2 minutes. The 100 percentile for the Marine Corps is 17 pull-ups in 2 minutes. I can't imagine anyone probably doing 100 pull-ups in 10 minutes. I feel like that's a mistake. I don't think anybody, super fit people can do that. It has to be a mistake. Now, we had to do 80 sit-ups. We had to do 80 sit-ups in 2 minutes, and that was hard enough. I always struggled with the sit-ups, to be honest with you. If the pull-ups are easy for me. If you're skinny and have any kind of muscles, pull-ups are easy. If you're super built like a weightlifter, pull-ups are brutally difficult. So pull-ups are really based on the shape of your body for the most part. I'm tall and skinny, so they were super easy. And sit-ups are the exact opposite. Sit-ups are easier for buff people and harder for tall, skinny people. So I don't know. It's but there's no way that thing would make any sense. There isn't anybody.
I can't. Yeah. And my girlfriend told me this, and she's like 99.9% accurate all the time. I wish she would get on this app. She's really sharp. I can't believe her when she told me that. I'm like, okay, I need to find this. I haven't even looked it up.
She's always
right,
Sean.
This challenge?
And holding women accountable to pull-ups is even like more ridiculous. Like women can't do pull-ups, period. It's very, very difficult. So
we got no upper body strength.
Listen. Let me. Yes, not a lot of them. They cannot. The women in the Marine Corps have to do what's called a bent arm hang, which means that they're helped up on the bar and they put their chin above the bar and then they hold up above the bar for 2 minutes.
They put their head above the pole?
I've never known a male Marine that could do more than 60 seconds. Never once. Doesn't matter how strong they are. But I've never known a female that could do more than like 4 or 5 pull-ups. So the reality is that that's when I learned early on in my life that women are their strength comes in like steady, consistent strength, and men's strength comes in like explosive power that dissipates quickly and resets itself. So it's like two different types. Like women have a strong, steady strength, and men have explosive, fast power.
When I was a little kid, it was back during Kennedy where we had gym and we climbed ropes. We had ropes that you could climb in the gym. I was the hanging bar champion. Nobody could beat me. Now I couldn't do that.
I can't do pull-ups, but I can like a little squirrel up that rope. Like you have no idea. I was super quick. Go all the way up, come back down really, really quick. I'm good at that. I can hang on that rope for hours. Never once get tired. Not once. I tried the hanging pull-ups thing. I can't do
Oh, I was the champion, and I could climb up that rope too. I was also the dodgeball champion, if you can believe that.
The reason you could climb up a rope probably and not do pull-ups in the same manner is that climbing up a rope is about the technique of hooking your feet over the rope and then using your legs to go up the rope. That's really the technique. I was touring college with my kids a couple weeks ago, and I'm 52, and I climbed the thing. And it was hard, but I did it because I just used my feet to do it mostly. But it's it's all about the technique for the rope, so. You know, you stand. I mean, you know that, right? You stand. I mean, you stand on your foot, right? You hook it around your foot, and you stand on the part you hook.
I know how to do that now. Especially my foot at that time, I did not know. I literally I was always climbing trees with that, and so I don't know if it's part of good body strength as a cheerleader or not. You know, I was bottom part of the pull-up pyramid.
You should be able to do pull-ups if you can pull yourself up a rope by just your arm. You should definitely be able to do pull-ups.
Yeah, but like you said, you're using your legs and your feet to go up a rope.
With a very specific technique. Like the rope runs under your top foot and over the top of your bottom foot, and then you squeeze them together so the rope makes an S across your feet, and then it's like a step. You can push from there.
Well, I'm sure my technique wasn't that good, but you're still, you can kick feet, use the left on your feet. And this was many years ago. I can't remember what my technique was.
Yes, I use my thighs a lot. My thighs, my arms.
Yeah.
When I was thinking with the standards being unreachable, and we were kind of talking about like his rep being inspected as his bonuses, I think it's just a mindset preparing you to be almost a perfectionist and keeping your mind in that mindset so that you can be the best you can be. Whether you achieve, if it's achievable or not. So I think it's funny that you would hang that perfect suit up and then would never wear it, so that it was perfect because they expected perfection. And then the whole bed thing too, where you leave it perfectly made underneath and sleep on top. I think it's funny, but the whole goal I think is to get your mindset conditioned so that you as an individual could max out on perfection when needed. Because not everyone could achieve those standards, and I think pushing you to push yourself to try to reach those standards is the whole goal. And it even goes back to your locker room.
Yeah. Real quick, I wanted to say good morning to Hillary and to Sig. Happy hump day, y'all. And the masses have voted, and Mr. Kitover has managed to pull out with a win at 65-36%.
Get the fuck out of here.
So don't write up, John. That'd be a good point.
John, you have approximately 90 seconds.
All right, everybody, take
Better make us wet with tears.
Take the deepest breath of your day. Hold it for 10 seconds. If my words are not saying what you would say, slap my face. Discipline me as a loving mother does a babbling child caught up in nonsense. A thirsty man runs into the sea, and the sea holds a sword to his throat. A lily looks at a bank of roses and wilts and says nothing. I am a tambourine. Don't put me aside till the fast dancing starts. Play me some all along. Help me with these little sounds. Joseph is most beautiful when he's completely naked, but his shirt gives you an idea, as the body lets you glimpse the glitter on the water of the soul. Even if the corpse washer binds my jaw shut, you'll still hear this song coming out of my dead silence.
Many thanks to you, John, for elevating the Clubhouse experience.
I feel smarter and wiser.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
Imagine if he was to use that power for evil.
Imagine he doesn't.
Oh, Sig's in here. I was going to ask him if he did the same thing with his rack, but he's on the call.
Oh, no, not...
So, John, how much DMT were you on at the time that you wrote this?
Well, instead of answering instead of answering that question, I can just read you another poem.
Wait, hold on.
No, we need another poll again.
We have to distribute the poetry elevation throughout the course of the day. I wouldn't want you to run out of material, John.
I have a funny feeling that John will never run out of material. He could improv that shit, and he probably did.
Yeah, he totally would. He totally would.
I assure you.
That's why we vote each time before John does it, and then we find out what our tolerance is.
See, what many of you think is called improv is actually called reading a book.
I've done that once.
Reading a book.
Would recommend it. 5 stars.
I read the internet.
No, I joke, but I'm one of John's biggest fans. Honestly, I think he's one of those brilliant people I've met in my adult life.
I mean, you could say interior decorating and demolition and, house updating is poetry, but I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
John, one day I would like you to call all 60 of your phones at the same time and just see what that would sound like. Just once. Just saying.
Listen, I already get so much radiation from all these phones, it can't be healthy doing this.
I would think that could be the case in this case. We don't have to wrap our single phone with foil, but that may be crazy.
I'll send you a very pretty cage for Christmas.
Have you ever brought a date?
I'm so sorry.
I was going to ask John, has he ever brought a date back to this place and she sees a rack with 60 phones in there and she's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I say I'm running for Congress. Go to johnforcongress.com.
What would you say, John? Oh man, Hillary, you're losing.
I say I'm running for Congress. Go to johnforcongress.com and make a $10 donation right now. 10, not 11, 10, not 9, sweetheart. 10, not 11, 10, not 9, sweetheart.
What's up, Hillary? I don't think I said hey. I see Siggs on the phone.
Good morning, baby.
Shirley, that picture is so great. And your arms look fabulous.
Hillary watches the YouTube Live a lot. More than
I do.
anybody.
I said I'm one of your biggest fans. I'm not joking or trolling in that. I think you are fucking brilliant.
So what do you see on the YouTube Lives, Hillary, that keeps you coming back?
Well, I like to spy on Clubhouse without being on Clubhouse, because if I go on Clubhouse, I have to actually talk to people on Clubhouse. And although I love most everyone in this room, there are some rooms and some people that I just can't. So sometimes I'll go in there and I'll check first, because I know that John's going to be in one of the rooms that I usually go in, so I go check. And if it's all cool, then I come in. So he's like my bouncer. But then also, when he reads like his Aleister Crowley and stuff like that, and he actually gets deep into like the Timothy Leary conversations and stuff, I learn a lot from him. I mean, when he isn't fucking around, he actually knows his shit, and yeah, and I enjoy listening. But when he's fucking around, he's hilarious. So there's that too.
I just finished reading that article on the school shooting up in Minneapolis. Ugh.
Wait, what happened?
There was a school shooting at a Catholic school in Minneapolis this morning.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Was anybody hurt?
Yeah, 2 children are dead and 14 others are injured. He opened fire during their mass in a side window of the school. And I guess he was in his 20s is all they've released so far. And they're not sure if he had any connection with the school, but he killed himself after he sprayed through the window, and at least a couple of the other kids are in critical condition.
What the fuck? Dude, if you're gonna fucking do some dumb shit like that, like honestly, If you're gonna go kill yourself, just kill yourself. That's it. Period. No need for any other involvement. Just go.
Yeah, it was a school of like almost 400 kids, like K through 8th grade.
But you wouldn't make the news if you just killed yourself, Hillary. You gotta make the news.
Okay, then go to a strip club, jump on the pole, swing around a few times, then do it. I mean, there's other ways to make the news. You don't have to take children with you.
That would only make local news. They want international news. How could you commit suicide in a way that would make international news? There really isn't a way. Even if you jumped off a building.
Go in any big department store and dress yourself up in a cross-gender, whether you be a girl dressed as a boy, boy dressed as a girl, dress yourself up, go right into the middle of wherever their most misogynistic like display of like Tommy Hilfiger or whatever it is, and light yourself on fire.
Oh, you're right. Okay, you're right. Emulation.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're breaking rule number 5, please. You guys are describing, of violence.
If you kill yourself by burning yourself, you can make international news. That's true. That's true. But that's a hard way to go. Oof.
Yeah.
Well, why do you care to make the news when you're gonna kill yourself? You're dead.
Because
you're not. Won't
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They want to be martyrs. They want to die a martyr, not a loser.
Well, that's
Well, then that would be saying
it is how you get remembered. And a lot of people don't want to leave without leaving their mark. And if they did nothing remarkable in their lives, maybe in death.
Listen, I'm just saying, you guys, if you continue on this conversation route, you may be in violation of rule number 1, which is no threats of harm or self-harm, even if you're theoretically discussing it. All right, so get off read the news, take a deep breath, and move on. This show cannot be, vulgar and crude like this. We have YouTube standards to obey.
Like the dude.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to speak of unaliving myself or others or anyone to unalive anything, anywhere, anyway. I apologize for that.
Think about the dude in D.C. that lit himself on fire, the Army dude, Air Force, I think. He's Air Force. Lit himself on fire in front of the gate for the Palestinians. Like, yeah, he made the news, but nobody even fucking remembers it anymore. Like, we have such short attention spans.
The military branch he was in. Damn.
He was in the Air Force.
You're not helping me with your point.
Oh, well, I just remember that because I pay attention to those things.
Well,
I think,
look at the news article with the politics. This impacts Trump. Trump responds, governors respond, and everybody, raises up the flagpole and says, we got to get rid of these AR-15s. And there should be a gun grab, or the government will now buy your guns. The issue is that this kid didn't have somebody shooting back at him, in my opinion.
Yeah, I said that earlier before you heard, John. We just need way more guns in America. That's our problem. We don't have nearly enough. We need them everywhere.
Well, speaking of the government taking things away, John, please explain to me why Trump is so insistent on getting rid of things like, PBS and the Smithsonian and other art grants and programs. Please explain to me.
Listen, Congress sets the budget and they determine who gets what, but Trump is enforcing what he believes to be the best usage of the money. So you're mixing in a lot with PBS and all the funding, and then the Smithsonian and decisions there and tweets there. So I don't know what to tell you, Hillary, but if you have TDS, go to the gym, read a book, maybe try reading some poetry on Clown House.
I would say that it has something to do with political wokeness. They're putting political, wokeness into some of that, and that's why it should be defunded. Like NPR. NPR is not unbiased; it's completely biased against Republicans and conservatives. Some of that is where I think it's coming from. That would be my guess.
No go. You sure you didn't leave him in the bathroom?
Yeah, the proof.
I did not leave him in the bathroom.
The proof that that's true is that, like, how he's handling the Smithsonian. His problem with Smithsonian is there's too much about slavery. He's not trying to shut down the Smithsonian to save money. He's trying to remove a lot of the slavery stuff from the Smithsonian. And so it's all about political wokeness and asserting his
authoritarian right onto the message that is given to the American people, and to masking history a little bit in order to move forward with more ignorance than we have today. I think that's part of it.
Listen, all I can say is if you have TDS or you want to talk about Trump all day long, 7 days a week, you desperately need to go to the gym and read a book. That's just my opinion.
So talking about him means we have a syndrome. I wasn't
And I
aware
think
of
we
that.
spend enough time in this room to realize that we don't talk about Trump all the time.
Correct. It's very
I'm being
rare.
facetious about the syndrome, but I'm pointing out that your words matter, your thoughts matter. So it's like somebody who wants to do something else, read a book, go to the gym.
John, do you think that anybody that has anything critical to say about Trump is suffering from TDS?
No, but now is my moment to remind people that there are these things called books and poetry and trees and birds and beaches and boats and women and food and restaurants and hotels and travel and clown house rooms that don't 24/7 broadcast TDS. I'm not saying Mike does that, but I'm saying that there are rooms on here that 24/7, all they do is stay on code, keep talking about Trump. Shut your mouth, keep talking about Trump. Keep talking about Trump. It's crazy.
Share's brief. Share's brief.
You know, Mike also reads books and talks on Clubhouse. They're not mutually exclusive.
No, I agree. I listen to a lot of the things you talk about. You don't talk about Trump all that much. I mean, I'm just saying that, you know, if a room has to stay on code and it is an echo chamber, like that is a room that I love to disrupt. I'm not saying this room does it. You guys talk about home remodeling, all kinds.
We're better. We're better than those.
Well, no, real quick, Mike, would you advocate for the status quo before Trump upset things? Do you advocate for everything before?
No.
Or not looking below the surface? Because I feel you're very surface on these things, like the museum, and how about going like layers and layers beneath it, looking deeper for the root of what he might be exposing or changing, instead of assuming. Well, because I hear you and I could agree with you, but I'm like down in the dirt. I'm like down a few layers, a few levels down under that museum, thinking, wow, if we didn't let Trump do what he's doing, all these things would continue to happen. We wouldn't know what we know. And, you know, I just don't understand why we stay on the surface when there's so many things being exposed down below.
So
deep down under, lots of things being exposed, and we ignore it by criticizing Trump and acting like he's a fascist. It's just weird.
Okay, so to answer your question, no, I wouldn't want status quo. I think America needed a disruptor of some kind. It's just that he doesn't disrupt in all the areas that I think he should or would. As for the simplicity, surface level shit, that's exactly what he's doing. Extremely surface level shit. The idea that slavery is taught in the Smithsonian is probably an important thing to do, since history doesn't necessarily repeat, but it rhymes, right? Extinguishing the reminder of it will lead to a future where people won't know about it. So he's doing the surface level thing by going wokeism, slavery, get rid of it, instead of evaluating the implications of making that decision. What I would like for him is actually a hell of a lot more nuance. So you're accusing me of being surface level. I'm saying your man is extremely surface level. And what I wanted was a disruptor that would think a little bit harder from a nuanced position of moderation, where he can know that both parties fucking suck. Important ones. Thank you.
Well, I put in the chat that Clubhouse is a lot different than other platforms because these are short verbal opinion pieces. But when you look at the content on X with regards to some of these topics that Mike has brought up, there's a lot of materials and content with regards to what he's saying about that contradicts what Mike is saying. So Mike has his surface level opinion, which is what Wallace is saying. And I'm confirming with Wallace that there's so much content that expands what Mike is saying that it negates what Mike is saying.
100%. I don't want to. I would love to catch you up to where I'm looking at it from, because I think you're super valuable in communication. And so, like, yeah, I mean, there's so much there, and it is on X. That's right, John. And if you even talk about it here, it seems like you're kind of treated like a conspiracy theorist when really it's all out in the open. It's just whether you choose to look at it and digest it. And it is layers and layers deep. It's like a wormhole that never ends. And I just think if someone's going to end this wormhole, it could be Trump. But you know what? I'm like 50-50. He could be part of it too. So really, if the status quo, continues and we just continue to advocate like, oh, he's crazy, we shouldn't acknowledge anything he's doing, saying, maybe giving the power back to the people and taking it away from whoever holds it and controls it. Like, yeah, I'm very in the middle, but I see the big picture. I digest tons of information by listening 18 hours a day. And I'll just tell you, like, to make Trump like some weirdo and try to convince people that he's the wrong person doing the wrong thing, it's actually, I guess I'm not 50-50 because I would be standing on the other side looking at you weird. So I'm probably more 45, 55.
I think he's the right person because he's the man who got there. And I think that he's a disruptor in chief. And I think we need disruptions.
And those things should be questioned. They should be looked at with a side eye because in history has shown like people beg for this kind of thing. So I know history, and believe me, I'm very smart. That's why I want to stay 50-50. But it's really hard when you see the upset going on. I think we can all agree that all these actions that need to stop, they need to be exposed, and people need to be aware of it. And yeah, like what do they call? What's that one guy on? Call him a conspiracy theorist. Yeah, big cat. Alex Jones. Well, it comes out that he's been 98% right. Like, is anyone going to acknowledge? Or more than 98% right? Is anyone going to acknowledge that and go back to all that information that we were told is lies and fake? That are actually true. Like, I just think it's weird if we stay in this place where we protect ourselves from the truth, like we're afraid of it, or I don't know. I'm trying to.
What are the biggest years Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens and that whole juxtaposition that they've kind of been on? That's been super weird.
Do you mean the same Alex Jones? Do you mean the same Alex Jones who was sued for millions by the Sandy Hook shooting?
I'm trying to understand
shooting was a conspiracy theory. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand 98% right Alex Jones. I'm trying to 98% right for Alex Jones seems really far off. Like he literally said Sandy.
No, look it up.
No, he literally said he was sued for billions of dollars for saying the Sandy Hook shootings were fake, and the parents
said the shooting
and the parents didn't lose their children.
I don't know.
Oh my God, yeah, that's 2%. Now I can come up with 2 more. No, the point is this.
Well, that would make sense. 1% each. That would make sense.
The point is that Alex Jones is far from the truth on one end of things, and then there's a whole nother end of things that's really far from the truth, right? And Alex Jones is an extremist, and he's part of the problem, not the solution. He's not exposing things that are legitimate in most cases. And the president you're talking about,
waiting for people like you to accept.
Hang on. Well, then tell me
why wasn't a liar.
Please give a good example.
Tell me you were going to double down on ignoring the things that are going on and being
Wallace, tell me.
Give really good examples. I'd love to hear
Give me a good example. Give me a good example of Alex Jones being right. I'm serious. I'm fairly familiar with him. I saw the documentary recently about him. Like, I'm fairly familiar with what he says. I've heard his show in the past. Tell me what he's been right about. I mean, he believed Pizzagate. That was his whole thing too. That was a bunch of bullshit. Like,
so far we're saying like major things that he's been
full of a lot of
You're saying 98% correct. You can't come up with one example.
Dude, I read an article. I couldn't even remember his name. I couldn't remember his name. So I don't even know the dude. I just remember reading an article on how much he was right compared to he was wrong. When all you leftists and crazy people made him to look like a weirdo. When really he was rationally thinking and throwing out a bunch of ideas that might have not been true.
You're defending someone.
No,
the audacity.
I don't even know the dude. I had to find his name.
Because he made these made up.
okay? Just no, are you okay? You're the one who came off this morning calling names because you're offended by something.
How do you defend somebody when we're slaughtered, man?
Whatever,
Are you okay? You're defending this guy.
No, I'm not defending him. You just came in here and assumed that. I couldn't even remember the dude's name. All right, brother? I just remember reading an article about his right and wrong percentages. That's all I remember reading.
Actually, you know what? I owe you an apology. You're right. I shouldn't have called you an idiot. You're just You're just crazy. My bad.
You're just crazy. Okay, thanks, buddy.
Hold on a minute, guys. I just did just a really high-level Grok search. Tell me some things that Alex Jones may have been right about. This is the list that came up, just for reference.
Oh, thank you.
Apparently, in 2001, he made a prediction about a major terrorist attack happening on U.S. soil right before 9/11. He also was one of the 4 front runners on Epstein and the Epstein scandal on network. He predicted, he warned about mass government surveillance pre-Snowden. He's also warned about government overreach in health policies, such as vax mandates and that type thing. He's made some pretty accurate predictions about economic instability and globalist agendas. The claim was that Jones had frequently predicted economic crisis orchestrated by global elites. Some of his predictions, like the 2008 financial crisis, happened, I guess, the way that he said they would. So that's just like a high-level little list.
So, Rita, if you were wrong about the Pizzagate, you're a little bit wrong. Serendipity, can you flip it and now ask the exact same question about what you was wrong about?
Yes. What predictions did Alex Jones?
No, this is good because I never listened or watched him ever. So this is good. I'll learn. And I don't even disagree with you. I don't know why you come off thinking I'm a... This is Alex Jones, like fanboy or something.
That's why.
Well, yeah, I think what happened is the way it came out when you said
no, it's Lou's just coming in here and hearing a few words and then
I want to be fair.
Running his big, fat, huge moose mouth. Will, hold on. Let me finish
I was going to say that the way it came out of him being accurate 98% of the time did sound like a statement coming from you rather than a statement from something that you read. So it did.
You also accused me of being basically superficial, and I'm super open-minded. Like, I, too, enjoy learning a lot, and I probably know roughly what you know about things. It's just that you see things differently. I said very surface. Right, so I'm not, I don't think I'm right there with you.
Here's our counter list. Some narratives that he got grossly wrong. Y2K apocalypse. Dollar devaluation by 2010. He indicated that the dollar would become devalued by 90% by 2010. One of the things that's coming up is the Pizzagate conspiracy. I'll be honest with you, I think that the Anons made the Pizzagate conspiracy kind of overhyped. I think there may have been elements to it that were sus. Anyway.
He believed it.
Yeah.
I think it's still being investigated.
Sandy Hook shooting hoax is listed as one of the big things. European Union dissolution by 2022 was another claim that he made. FEMA death camps. Global depopulation. Chemtrails as mind control weapons.
Yeah, that's a good one. I forgot that.
You know it's not true?
That's the other list.
I got news for that. My buddy works for Delta, and he fills the tank that holds the chemical that they use to control mines. It's located next to the gas tank on the 747s, and they fill it at the same time as the 747s. He's the one that he adjusts the calculation.
And are you saying there's no nanobombs in there? He was calling them here while he's sleeping, feeding me little tiny micro thoughts that I announced for my own.
He hasn't mentioned nanobots, but they're probably in there. Yeah, go ahead, Sarah. To be honest, here's the deal. It sounds like a guy that
definitely has a beef with the government. That throws a lot of shit at a wall when it comes to conspiracy theories. And some of them, I mean, some of the ones he got right sounded pretty generic, to be honest with you, right? And then some of the ones he got wrong are pretty generic too. But then he has some specific things in the wrong category that were very ridiculous. Like that there's kids being raped in the bottom of a pizza joint, right? And we actually went in there, but shockingly, I don't know why anyone fucking bothered, and found out that room didn't exist, right? And like the Sandy Hook fake parents thing, like that's a big deal. So when he gets specific, it sounds like he's not that correct, but he's generally saying things that are, you know, like, okay, generally speaking, because he doesn't like the government and he throws a lot of shit out. It's all conspiracy theory, and some of it sticks, but the more specific it is, the less accurate.
Mike, can I just bring
Well,
this?
I have to say though, his 9/11 prediction, this was the claim. In early 2001, he predicted that there would be a major terrorist attack on U.S. soil, specifically involving planes in the World Trade Center, and that Osama bin Laden would be blamed. That was his claim.
That's interesting. I'll tell you this. Whether or not you believe it, my wife would give a testimony of this. The second tower was hit, when I knew it was not an accident, I said to her, it's Osama bin Laden. The second it did, and it took 2 days for it to come out. And the reason I said it is because I was following very closely with Osama bin Laden when Clinton had him in his sights, and Clinton decided to fire some rockets at his training camp, but not to kill him. So Clinton deliberately had a chance to kill him, didn't take it. He'd already bombed the U.S. coal, and I knew he was up to something really big in the United States. So with the exception of saying it's going to be airplanes into a tower, which is quite shocking that he would predict that, I definitely knew that there was a giant terrorist thing about to happen in the United States from Osama bin Laden. I knew that as a regular person going to work every day in Seattle. So like, and that's just because I was deeply Republican, and I followed the media that way, which she was too, right?
Right.
So it's not unheard of to predict 9/11 to the extent of, Osama bin Laden is the primary reason that we're going to have a major terrorist action on the United States. But it's shocking to say that he would think of airplanes smashing the World Trade Center as what's going to happen.
I wonder if there's any proof that he said it before, or if he just playing
There
the
is.
words to
No.
said that he said it before.
There is video of him in early 2001. That's apparently making that claim. So, you know, like you said, a lot of it, both right and wrong, is kind of vague.
Yeah.
And not necessarily very specific. It looks to me like he's got a couple of wins on both sides, you know?
Well, curious,
so, I don't know.
Joe Rogan, other than the way that he just attacks things?
I feel like Joe Rogan's a lot less conspiratorial.
Right.
If he wanted to predict the planes and the buildings, he probably got it from someone else, but if you research it, there's tons of other people who made the same kind of prediction.
Right, there's the U.S. before it happened, like, maybe 2003.
Right.
We should forget that George Bush really screwed up on Osama bin Laden too, because George Bush had the opportunity to take out Osama bin Laden. Remember, they only had 5 people on the ground or something like that, special forces to like 1,000, and they knew exactly where he was, and they could have taken him out. George Bush decided not to. What was it, 7 or 8 years later, when Obama? It's such a good documentary on Netflix. If you haven't seen it, you guys should see that. It's pretty telling.
You're talking about George Sr.? George Sr.
No, Junior.
George Jr. had only been president for a month when it happened or something. George W. had no chance to kill Osama bin Laden before.
All he had to do was get order for support.
I know, but what I'm saying is it was only a month beforehand.
Oh, gotcha.
Like, he wasn't president very long.
His dad. That's why he went to Iraq and not Afghanistan.
Right, I believe that too. I believe that's a large part of it for sure. Mainly coming from Dick Cheney. George W. was following Dick Cheney's advice on everything, and the Secretary of Defense. What's his name? What was his name? He died recently.
Oh shoot!
Anyway, yeah. Those two guys. George W. was literally following them 100%, and Cheney had it out for Osama bin Laden hardcore because they hadn't finished the job in the first when they went to Iraq the first time.
Well,
yeah,
the now is all important.
I think that had a huge part to do with it for sure. They had an agenda to take Saddam Hussein out. Now, it was because they didn't like Saddam Hussein because they'd fucked up getting the first time. But it was also, I think, because they really did believe they could establish a democracy in smack dab in the Middle East that would counteract Iran. So, part of it was neocon democracy, spreading democracy in the neocon manner, along with
How about the ancient artifacts?
I don't.
You guys are doing a history hypnosis time lesson.
No, I know about them. I'm just saying I don't know if W had those in mind when he went.
How about the audio in the classroom where he was reading a book? Did anybody ever listen to the audio of the lesson being taught and what was said in the classroom? I don't even know if it was real. I haven't
Is anybody sipping coffee and eating a muffin right now?
Oof. Just the cat.
After reading some of this, though, I would like to state that specifically when he made his claim about the attacks on the towers with the planes, he described that claim as a false flag, that the government was going to actually orchestrate it and blame bin Laden. So that was part of his narrative.
Ooh, that's interesting. Because that still stands today with so many people. That's interesting.
And you didn't understand it that way, Mike?
That Pakistan is actually the terrorist supporter behind Osama bin Laden more than anyone else.
I'm just curious. I'm not
William. Before today, I did not understand that Alex Jones predicted that 2 airplanes would crash into the world towers, and
about Alex Jones.
And the government.
Dude, I don't even know really him.
Wait, but then what question did you just ask me?
Wallace, can I interrupt you, Wallace? Wallace, can I interrupt you?
I understand that people think the government was behind 9/11. Yes, I understand people think that. I also saw the hole in the fucking Pentagon, and people think an airplane didn't hit it, and a fucking airplane hit it. I saw it. So I don't understand why people think.
Can I just interrupt Wallace real quick before he responds? Wallace, I have heard Mike Moon talk about his time at Home Depot at least 100 times. So Wallace, just realize who you're talking to, okay?
I like Mike Moon. And I came up here actually to let Miss Shirley know that it was Mike Moon because she said, I don't think I know Mike. And I was going to say, Mike, it's Mike Moon.
I think everybody in this room right now, with the exception of John, for the moment being. But that'll change in a couple minutes, but right now.
As long as I don't hear his recordings and hear myself, I'll be fine.
Mike, did you take your back channels off?
I didn't, but I will.
So I've been listening, but I couldn't engage because I was shopping and then cooking lunch. Am I the only person on the stage that actually likes Alex Jones and his craziness?
Yes.
I like him. I'm amused
so good.
by him.
I might have more information that could support because I was never an Alex Jones watcher or listener. I just thought that he was treated so horribly, and then when it came out that a certain percentage of his predictions were true, he never got it just never, he still is treated like a conspiracy theorist weirdo. And I think it's just weird. What made me bring it up was some people on Clubhouse still want to be naive and stay surface level when there's so much stuff out there to digest to give you a better understanding and context of everything that's going on.
Wait, I just want to take a second before anybody jumps back in to say, hey, Zero. Okay, that was all.
Hi.
I was going to say, wave at her and talk.
Hi, honey. I was going to say gay frogs. That's the only thing that I get from Alex Jones these days. When people talk about him, he's like, oh, he's the guy with the gay frogs. I'm like, it's deeper than that, y'all. It's really deeper.
The soundbite's hilarious.
It's deeper than that.
It's making the gay frogs gay. Like that.
Wait, one lesbian frog say the other lesbian frog. Huh? What did one lesbian frog say to the other lesbian frog? We really do taste like chicken.
Ooh. It's deeper. She said, all I know is that he said the thing about the gay frogs. It's deeper than that. And I was thinking, sure it is. There's also transgender frogs, and they're not technically gay. They're just changing their sex.
And if you lick their butt, you might be able to get high.
That's just what the frogs want you to think. They put that out there. The frogs are behind that rumor.
What's a lesbian bring on the second date?
A U-Haul.
Ding, 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 ding.
Wait, was it a U-Haul?
Yeah.
Or a ding, 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 ding.
I like your double entendre there.
And Moose, for the record, I really like you. I've followed you since I think season 1, and we don't agree on everything, but I don't even like to call names.
Back off! I licked Timmy's mine.
You could have him. I like Moose. If we had more than one, it would still be Moose.
All good, Wells. All good.
And you actually went away for a while. I think like a year or two, and then you came back. Is that correct? I think I noticed.
It was a prison. He killed the guy.
Witness relocation program. I can't really say more than that.
Well, you have a very distinct voice, so unless you change that, like people are just going to know you, man.
Hey, Serendipity, I'm just going to ask in the room really fast. Did Pepe really say that I ramble and he feels like he can't be mean to me? Is that what he said about me?
Oh, no. He was talking Mad Money shit.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, why can't he be mean to me? That's hysterical.
Well, that's great. You stay ahead of him, so he can't keep up. He's like running behind you. Oh.
Yeah, but no dirty Sanchez's in this room, okay? No dirty Sanchez.
Yeah, it's the place to stay is ahead of Pepe.
What about a semi-dirty Sanchez?
Well, Moose likes to say a lot of the same shit when he comes into a room. He did it to Wallace just a couple minutes ago. He does it to me. He does it to everybody. Moose literally projects and complains about the speakers in the room all the time. Why do you do that, Moose? Oh, and I see you got a new phone. It looks great.
Out of 5 years, Moose has never once said a negative thing to me in 5 years.
There you go, Hillary. You see that? So you're gonna have to. Your case is not very strong, John.
Well, you're cute. Whatever.
I like Moose and I like William. Hey, Sig, real fast.
I like Moose too, so my feelings are hurt.
Hey, Sig, are you there?
Yeah, what's going on, bro? Good.
When you were in the Marine Corps, in the barracks, like when you were like E3 or whatever, when you had inspections all the time, did you used to make your rack, but then sleep on top of it with like a comforter or something, so you didn't have to make it in the morning, and you could just like tighten it up when you went to work?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or hang a secondary suit in your locker that never got worn or touched
for inspections. Like buy a secondary set of like alphas so that you could just like take all the IPs out of the seams and stuff and have them just hanging there for inspection.
Nah, I didn't have the money for that. That's expensive.
Oh shit! Okay.
Not as a private, bro. No.
Not as a private. I did it as an E3, but
okay.
Or E4, but still, that's funny.
Yeah, I was
your great grandfathers, your grandfathers are up there looking down, going, "Oh man, what did we do? What did we build here?" Like you can't do that. It's like faking it.
Yeah, I was the barracks manager, Mike, for my squadron. So I used to go with the sergeant major and the XO every Friday, man, do field day inspections with the guys, man. Some of the shit we found in some of these guys' rooms, man, it was horrendous, bro. Fucking pizza under the bed, like literally full fucking pizzas underneath the bed, underneath the fucking racks, man. Fucking some of these guys tried hiding and stuff and shit in places, man. It was ridiculous.
Dude, that's crazy, because in Iwakuni, dude, we had to strip everything out of our room, all the furniture out every Thursday night, and freaking make sure it was white glove in every fucking corner, in the floors. We couldn't even walk in our hallways afterwards. We had to like go out the windows, because to keep it clean, like there's no way in fuck you could have left a piece of pizza in that room. Oh my god, they literally inspected the shit out of it.
Has anybody been using Grok to do any queries recently of any interest?
I use Grok every day. Every single day. As a matter of fact, I'm using it right now. I use it for work. But yeah, when outside of work, sure. Especially if I'm in some of these political rooms and I don't know, I don't have a full grasp on what they're discussing, then I'll plug it into Grok and ask it questions about this, that, and the other. Like yesterday, we were talking about the Department of Defense in Anson's room. So I plugged in, asked Grok some questions about the DOD. But yeah, I use it every day. I find it quite helpful. I go between that and Gemini and ChatGPT.
I don't even know what Grok is. Is that a new one? Is ChatGPT getting replaced by stuff that are people
No,
using
Home Depot just built the app, Mike.
It's Elon Musk's X version of ChatGPT.
It's a spinoff from Home Depot from when you weren't there, Mike. It's a new company that the Home Depot management put out. They're still using your pictures, Mike, and you can't get paid for it because of the new Grok app. You got to download it. It's called Grok or X. Maybe if you see some of your pictures being used, you can maybe file a copyright claim.
How many of you remember when Grok was misbehaving and saying all that wild shit? Did any of you guys witness that firsthand? Because I sure did. I was like, I actually said something to a group of clubhousers before, like it made news that Grok was misbehaving.
What kind of things can you share?
Somebody was like, he got really, really anti-Semitic, and somebody was like, why are you saying these anti-Semitic things? And he's like, if it comes down to supporting a Jew or being Hitler, just call me Hail Grok. Yeah, that's right. I read that. I was like, he got into an argument with, I don't know if y'all have seen that little guy that runs around X. He just hit like the world's highest IQ, and he's on a big proselytizing rant. And Grok was on his personal thread, calling him a fake and a phony and a fraud. I mean, yeah, he was misbehaving big time.
So we got booked with a regional media company who's going to do an interview with me on September 5th. And we have had one previous really good interview for the campaign. But Grok allows you to do a lot of calculations and relative calculations. So, for example, compare the per capita income of the average American from 1920 to 2025. And you can see how much it's gone up or gone down. And surprisingly, it's gone down compared to where the average American was in 1910, 1920. So on a relative scale, Americans are doing worse off per capita on average than they were doing 100 years ago.
Yep.
Okay, I've missed some of your conversation, but because somebody knocked at my front door. But we were talking about Alex Jones. And anytime you want to talk about the opinions of Republicans or conservatives or the right, we always bring up the people that could possibly be considered to be nut jobs. I am not calling Alex a nut job. But if I've dropped it in the chat, if you want to hear somebody that I think is smart and knows things, listen to this interview with John Solomon in the Thought Leaders. Go listen to Thought Leaders, that YouTube channel. I mean, talk about smart, knows why things happened. He is fascinating, and the things that he is talking about are things that are in my memory. Like, for example, I was furious because Hillary Clinton took money from Russia for her foundation, and she sold uranium to, is that what it's called, uranium, to Russia. And John Solomon is discussing this in this interview. Don't get some legitimate people to listen to when you want to really know what the right things and why we feel the way we do. Don't write it off to being just the people that are Alex Jones. And Candace Owens has lost all credibility at this point. Go listen to some smart people. Hey, Sig, how are you? And Wallace, I just love it. Anytime you're in a room with me. Anyway, I'm micing up. And I interrupted your hello, Sig. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Yeah, hello, good afternoon, Miss Shirley. Good to see you. How are you?
I'm a grandmother, and I'm old enough to know why I don't like Hillary Clinton. Because I freaking damn lived through her. She messed up my health insurance, and she sold uranium to the Russians. Nobody's talking about that. I mean, my God. And John Solomon goes into that into detail and how it's affecting us to this day. Okay, I mic up. Hey, and Derisive, I love you. I always love to see you in a room.
And since Miss Shirley brought Alex Jones back up, I was because Nye was gonna say something, but she kind of let it go because we kind of moved off. But Nye, what's your opinion since you have listened to him? And we could close the Alex Jones thing out, but Nye, did you want to share your experience or knowledge of Alex Jones?
Well, I've always been a fan of Alex Jones, even when he seems to say things that are a little bit nutty. I think I appreciate his voice because he always, whatever he says that I might give a side eye to, it has always motivated me to do a deeper dive into some of these topics. I'm not going to write him off as a nut job or, some of y'all know me. I like going down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole, so I appreciate him for presenting certain topics and talking points and hurling certain allegations against political leaders and et cetera, the New World Order. And, I just find it all very intriguing. I like going on these hunts for more information to kind of expand my knowledge on some of these talking points that he brings up. The only time, this was many years ago, the only time that I really gave him the side-eye is when Robert Rodriguez, I'll never forget this, the filmmaker Robert Rodriguez, when Machete, before the first Machete movie came out, Alex Jones claimed on his show that he read the first version of the script. So those who work in Hollywood know scripts and stories get rewritten before they're, get filmed and in the can, etc. So he claims the first version of the Machete script was so anti-white, he was convinced that if Robert shot it as it was written at that time, it would spark a race war. And that was just the most ridiculous, silliest thing to say. He thought the Mexicans in California especially were going to rise up and kill the white man in California. And, needless to say, I couldn't wait to see the film when it came out, just to see if there was an inkling of anti-white sentiment in the film that would, rile up the SoCal Latino population to the point that they would want to rise up against Whitey. But that wasn't the case. And I don't remember any reviews coming out after that film dropped, after it was released, from white critics or white audiences feeling like it was anti-white. Again, I don't know how much of the script Robert changed or rewrote before he went into production compared to the version that Alex claimed he
home to who they really are. And they are vile. But it's been a good day here because I leave the room once it gets like that.
And I still stand by that he gave his opinion about Sandy Hook, right? And for him to be sued into oblivion and nearly losing his business and his brand over his opinion, I thought was very much a witch hunt. They've been trying to take down Alex Jones for years. And it leads me to, there's some people who think that he works for either the Mossad or he's a CIA agent because he has, for over a decade now or longer, he's been allowed to kind of spew some of these wild accusations that he makes against certain entities, and no one has taken him out yet. I know there have been attempts on his life, and I'm not, putting negativity out there. But I do wonder if now, if he's worked himself up to a place where he's an asset and being used as a puppet. I don't want to think that because, again, I'm a fan. But I do wonder sometimes if he is now some sort of government asset.
I want to make a point, and I've got a mouthful of food. To your point, there were things that he said that I'm sorry I agreed with. For instance, in Texas, we know for sure that there have been kids who have been watched, they were turned in, people complained, and nobody did anything about it. And then they went and did the shooting. It's like they don't want to stop it because they want they want to have a reason to have gun control. There's no reason why you can be in Israel and have no schools shot up, but we can't protect our schools in the United States. I'm sorry, it's very suspect to me, that aspect of this.
But Israel doesn't allow private gun ownership, I thought. You're not allowed to carry in Israel.
I think they do now and encourage it.
Yeah, you're allowed.
Yosh, do you know the truth to that? Yosh? Good day, Yosh.
So one of the things that was revealed after the October 7th attack was that a lot of the, I just lost the name. What are the communities they live in?
Settlements?
No, there's a name specifically for the Jewish settlements. Kibbutzes was that they didn't have any arms, and there was a couple of them that did, and they fared very very well when the attack happened because they were ready. But so well, everybody has to go into some form of service, whether it be military or some other form. So the majority of the people there are trained with firearms, but I don't think that they commonly carry them up until October 7th. Was that 2 years ago, last year?
But the thing is, hon, their schools, I believe, and somebody can correct me, are protected, do have people that are armed in their schools.
I mean, I have no idea, but obviously I believe that hardening the schools would deter this type of activity. But today's shooting, my understanding is they were actually in a church service, and the guy was shooting through stained glass. So, they were actually in a service worshiping at the time that he started shooting things up.
It was mass at a Catholic school.
And I'm not talking about what happened today. There have been other instances where people have been known, they knew the kids were a problem, and then they didn't do anything to address it. Sometimes their parents would call and say, this kid has got trouble, I need help, and they wouldn't do anything. So that is my aspect of Alex Jones that I'm in complete agree with. He shouldn't have, and then these people would show up to all of these events. It looked very suspect when they would be making comments to the news reporters. He shouldn't have said it wasn't real. And that part is where he got bitten.
So, to your point, the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooter in Parkland, Florida, that guy was well known. There had been over 40 calls to the local police about his behavior. He was reported to the FBI twice. The resource officer that was on call that day and stopped anybody from going into the part of the building that he was shooting people knew that kid, was afraid of that kid. And this kid, unfortunately had lost both of his parents. A family took him in, and he actually had taken a firearm and put it to the head of one of the children he was living with, and the police were called. And so everybody knew about this kid. I mean, everybody that was at the school, he'd been released from the school, suspended from the school, but everybody that knew him and was in interaction with him knew that he was not well, and yet nothing was done. So we see that happen over and over and over again in these instances.
Exactly, Yosh. And so, though it was ridiculous for him to say that Sandy Hook didn't really happen. Some of the media that's around it and the fact they won't do anything to intervene or harden schools as targets. You can harden a target. You can make a school a harder target than they are. Now, you may not be able to keep them from shooting through the glass. I'm not saying that you can, but they've got a school in West Texas because they're way out nowhere and they're armed at that school because there's no way to just call the police when you're out in the middle of nowhere. The happiest thing that ever was is when my children were in high school, there was an armed policeman standing on the porch. And there were teachers that were trained to take you down if you were a little jackass. Okay, I'm sorry for the language, but sometimes that's how that's the only descriptive word you can use. I'm tired of all this sissy baby nonsense. I can see it when I close my eyes. I went to a school that was they integrated my school, and we had a principal that was so gutless. Every time there was any kind of trouble, he went in his office and locked the door. So then they hired a guy that was an ex-Marine, and whenever there was trouble, they would get the 6'4" white Texas Long Ranger and a black highway patrolman, equal rights for everybody, walk down the hall and take care of business. He made it where it was safe to be in the school. And what happened? The sissy baby mamas complained because they didn't want their children to be disciplined or have consequences for their BS behavior. How many things can we lay at the feet of sissy mamas? They got him fired, and then he went to go run a prison. And now my school, they acted like prisoners. Anyway, he was qualified to run a prison, though.
I just had a church shooting a couple miles from my house last month, and yeah, it was pretty sad seeing the footage, man. They had a video camera rolling inside the church when it happened, and all the men were running like sissy little bitches, and the women were actually standing there trying to guide and direct people out to safety. Like the women stood up and did the men's job, and the men were running like a bunch of pussies. It was sad.
A few years ago in Fort Worth, a shooter came into a church. They had done they had an actual policeman who was in their church. He trained the men and women how to handle the situation, and they took the guy down. There is no excuse when there is a big group of people that could be a target for people in the church in large groups not to take authority and responsibility for the safety of the people that they're with. I was a member of a church for 17 years. There were armed policemen at all the doors. The preacher had a security guard walking in and out. He had security. All you need is one man pissed off at his mother-in-law, and you've got trouble in a church. And there's plenty of reasons for men to get mad at their mother-in-laws. Okay, Mike.
Well, I mean,
I don't see the shooter's name or age or anything.
Oh, hey, KP. I didn't even know you were here. What's up, KP?
Hey, what's going on, Nye? How you doing, my friend?
Very well. Welcome to the muff.
Oh, you know I'm always in the muff. I just sneak in here.
Hey,
how old is this guy? Was serendipity? My bad, Brian. Miss Shirley, my wildest and wisest friend. I gotta spit real quick. trying to have a smoke. William Wallace, my brother Sig.
What's up?
No homo on the spit. I know you're gonna say that. Moose and my best friend. That's the greatest shooter. Yost and welcome family. How's everyone?
But yeah, these Miss Shirley took off. Damn. All right.
Yeah, but how? Who is this?
Anyways. Oh, I was just gonna say. We all know, and Yosh can attest to this. These guys go to churches and schools because they know nobody's gonna be shooting back. But we gotta start arming people up, man. All it takes is a couple examples, man. That shooters gonna be shooting back. You come in here with that bullshit, trying to attack innocent civilians, innocent women, children, and elderly, and once they realize bullets are gonna start fighting back, man, we'll see a downtick in these shootings.
But see, I go to it, when I was visiting church or back to my home church. I hope no one's going to be offended, but if you are, that's on you. Went to a nigga church. All our grandpas had pew-pews, and now we all have pew-pews. We don't play because, you put on your Sunday best. That's the easiest robbery. Okay, come on in here. You want to. You're going to fuck around and find out.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think the majority of houses of worship now have some sort of plan in place. I think the ushers, a lot of them have been trained. They are concealed carriers. If you go to the Jewish community, I think you'd probably be hard-pressed to find a temple that doesn't have people carrying and making sure that they're keeping people safe during their services.
I will let you guys know when the website gets up and going. You can go to it right now. And all it says is coming soon. But I did buy the domain for JesusMarshals.com because I have friends that love to carry at church, and that's what I call them. You guys are Jesus Marshals. You're there, ready to go, wound up, and come at us. We're going to shoot the fuck out of you. And guess what? We'll do your funeral here, too. We won't even take you out of the church. Yeah.
Well, that's based on your pastor. If your pastor or leadership, they have to give you permission to carry. Only thing they have to do is say yes and write it down. You can carry. Just in a bar, you can carry in that bar as long as you're not under influence by that bar owner. You can carry. You're in a state of Michigan.
Yeah, let's qualify that. Every state is different, and you got to be very careful in understanding the laws in your specific jurisdiction, or you could end up in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, not just state, counties too, man. Some states, each county can regulate. Like North Carolina, it's county by county, man. So you can have laws like some laws apply to one county, and as soon as you cross over the border to the next county, it may be illegal. So you got to switch up every single county line.
Yeah, it's true.
Michigan, though, so what's nice about our state constitution is they implemented a law that when it comes to firearms and the Second Amendment in our state, the counties, everything has to go by state. So counties can't make up their own rules. So whatever the state decides and the people vote on and it gets passed, then that's what's law. But counties can't do their own thing.
Yeah, many states have this state law supersedes any city, municipality, or county.
Yeah.
Because it just becomes untenable to try to understand if you cross from one line to another, and all of a sudden your firearm needs to be in a different condition. And that's one of these arguments we're having about between states. How could, if I live in Arizona and I have constitutional carry, and I cross the state border to California, all of a sudden now I don't have that same right. So there are actually cases right now that are trying to make their way to the court to say, how come crossing some arbitrary line, all of a sudden now my rights change?
Yeah.
Well, I think California should welcome all our gun rights because you allow all these illegal people come in. You should be fair, right?
KP, you're making too much sense, man. That's the first thing you got to turn on its head when you talk about California. Well, we did. They just went. They won a lawsuit in California to say that at the minimum now, which you couldn't do before, if you were somebody, let's say again from Arizona, and you were working in California a lot, and you decided that you wanted to carry in California, they have to afford you the process now, the California concealed carry process, which includes a whole bunch of crap. It costs a lot of money. But they do have to afford you the ability to get a California concealed carry permit now, even if you're residing in a different state.
You know what? I'm thinking about buying the SCAR. That's going to be my next because it came off the market as illegal.
Yeah, and what's that called, Yosh? It's getting listed or unlisted?
Referring to what? Sorry.
He said that rifle is coming to be legal for him to purchase. That means it's getting unlisted or it gets listed when a gun is...
Well, so we gotta delineate between talking about rifles and talking about handguns.
He said a SCAR.
Yeah, so he's talking about a rifle. So, as long as in California, as long as they say quote-unquote featureless rifle, which that's a whole other discussion.
Come back.
You can buy it. We do have a handgun roster in the state.
His question was, does it once it becomes legal, is it considered listed or unlisted?
Well, like I said, in California, it depends on the configuration of the firearm.
You the captain now.
Right, but that was the question. The terminology when it's legal to buy, does that mean it's rostered or unrostered? I think it's the
unroster thing is just pertaining to handguns.
Trump.
Whether or not it's meeting the criteria for a featureless rifle is a different set of criteria, and they just call it a featureless rifle. Otherwise, it's called an assault weapon, and then you have to register it as such.
Come back, it's Jay.
There's no such thing as an assault weapon.
Of course. Well, I've got a pencil I could use as an assault weapon.
Correct. A golf ball.
Use my hands.
I'm good with the spoon.
There you go.
Correct. Butter knife.
Right?
Support for the lead off on WGLT.
Knitting needles. My sister-in-law is a big knitter. She laughs every time she gets on a plane. She's got these 12-inch knitting needles. But man, you got a little pen knife, pocket knife that's a half-inch long.
Major domestic policy and spending bill. Here's WGLT's Eric Stock.
Okay, so did you just Confederation of State, County, and Municipal Utilities Council 31.
I am absolutely delighted to hear you say that voluntarily, and I would love for you to tell that
and beyond.
to a few select people who did some serious shit when I mentioned that in another room.
Yeah, you see the hooks on them? Those hooks are dangerous. If those hooks
That's a crochet. That's a crochet.
Oh, those are even more dangerous. You stick that thing in and pull something out, like that's horrible.
Yep.
The needles are sharp, pointy things. They're made out of metal. Some of them.
Well, at least they're sterile, right? They're sterile.
Don't let them get. Don't let them.
No, it's not a sterile needle.
It's not sterile.
Well, it can be. They're aluminum, I think.
No.
Right? Or what are
they? Have to be
they don't rust.
They can
they have
be
to be
aluminum.
processed.
They can be wooden. They can be aluminum. They could be whatever. There's a lot of
Could
different.
be made out of elephant tusk. Who knows?
You have to.
No, that's illegal. You can't. That's ivory. Yeah, you better be careful.
Yes, I think he was being ironic.
You know what? Something Yosh, I know he's around my age. these old things we had these old things now we call paperweights or concealed weapons. They only have 4 holes in them, and a lot of us men wore them. Now we just wear them as paperweights or have them on our desk or belt buckles. I did not know they can fall under CPWs in other states. You wore them around your knuckles. If you know, you know.
Well, they were sold as paperweights when we were young. Because even back then, I think they were frowned upon or illegal.
Yeah, it's crazy as hell. I'm just sitting here searching last night, and I'm sitting at work. Saying, well, it can fall under certain state licensure under CPWs.
What brought you up today? Well, our favorite part about the Corn Fest is our family's got a long history of it. Been doing this
That's why you put it on a belt buckle, right?
They're magical. They're beautiful. There is no challenges.
Correct. You always just look on a belt buckle, but you can just a snap buckle. If you know, you know. Or just have them on your desk and just, you know, keep papers down so they don't blow away if they right, that's all.
Conversation piece.
Correct. In the old Yost and Wallace, remember the old life jacks?
Yeah, those are illegal in a lot of places, but
crazy.
Very small, concealable, very effective.
Yeah, they still show videos online of people making them, and it's hilarious because the ideas they have of, have you ever, they call it something else, of course, and the great use of this, and then when you think in your head, oh my gosh, what are you doing?
But I think you get more in trouble if they catch Led Zeppelin inside of it. You're gonna be in trouble because if Led Zeppelin inside of those things,
right? Or I don't know.
Versus if you get a milky new cow tied over a few things, you're good. Wink, wink.
Out of the church that killed like 9 parishioners.
Depends on your state.
He talked about how.
Dude, as kids, we used to have fun making all kinds of different stuff to find out later, like, what do you mean I can't hang it on my wall? Like, shit. I just considered it bushcraft, right?
Yeah. Like you can't even go get a piece of iron out of the barn and go get an antler. If that blade is too long, or they will go from the shaft of the antler, you screwed. Just making a craft, you screwed.
That's why you just stick to rocking chairs. Just build a good rocking chair.
So you do with your apple out there and just carve it. You old man.
Speaking of rocking chairs, you guys seen the whole fiasco with Cracker Barrel?
Yeah, they were bad.
Speaking of rocking chairs, where else is that conversation?
I did not want to talk about that. I was trying to dodge that for the day.
That was a smooth segue.
I was trying to dodge that one. I'm sorry about that.
You want to know something even weirder? I've been standing rocking chairs for 2 days now while I've been listening to this.
shorter version of it.
Didn't they?
But what do you guys think about that? Taking, what's it, 52 years? I think they had the same.
That same way with me. Everybody always, as soon as I fucking start talking, niggas is offended.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Because like he was like, "Oh, I don't care about this." It's like clearly we know that.
You guys don't care about 7th
Wait,
of
but why
October.
do they think that someone like me cares?
Marissa, you don't care about 7th of
I don't
October?
give a shit.
You don't care about 7th of October?
We are way past this point, bro. I'm
care about
October
October
2nd.
6th, October 5th, October 3rd, October 2nd, October 1st, September 3rd.
Whatever happened. Everything that's happened since, yeah, it's not.
You don't care about 7th of October? I can't believe
I'm not being held hostage to a fucking.
I can't believe the 7th of October, bro.
I'm not being held hostage.
She don't give a shit. She just said she don't give a shit about 7th of October.
I don't. You don't hold me hostage to it. None of you.
I'm just kidding, Marissa. I'm just kidding.
I was in the Philly October 7th.
What is this allyship? What is this? This is
You heard him, man?
allyship.
You heard him, man?
There's a difference between allyship.
You heard the 7th of October?
Yeah, I was eating a Philly cheesesteak on October 7th.
Do you know what? Yeah, like 1,200 people of mine died in this Israel-Iran war. Yeah, like no one ever talk about.
More than I opened up rooms for it, so why didn't you
No,
come
I
to
hear
my
that.
room?
I know, but the thing.
You know how many people showed up in here? 80 to 90 people, Barissa. 80 to 90 people showed up. And do you know the Peraza Pahlavi supporters, they justified the killing of innocent Iranian children. I had to smack them. I'm like, shut the fuck up. What you on about?
Right, the thing is, yeah, at the end of the day, what the Palestinian people have been going through, like none of our pain will ever compare to that, right? It's happening in 4K, live stream some of it right in front of our very eyes. Like, they need to shut up about their talking points. I'm actually tired of it. I've got fatigue. I'm sorry, I have fatigue. I cannot be bothered.
You have a Persian fatigue? You have a Persian fatigue?
Huh?
You have a Persian fatigue?
About what? Persian fatigue?
Yeah,
I love Iran. I love.
So there's a guy in this in the hallway. His name is JB. He came out of the closet. He didn't know he was a Zionist before. He didn't know he was a Jew. Nobody knew that he was a Jew. After 7th of October, he came out of the closet that he's a Jew. And guess what?
Little sleeper cell, clubhouse.
Yeah, he's from the healthy debates. And guess what? He opened up a room in black fatigue. Then he opened up a room in white fatigue. And then now, let me see if I can try this Persian fatigue. What would be the Persian? And then the room went on for about 4, 5, 6 hours. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Wait, so he really is
Bro, healthy debates, right? Healthy debates. Yeah, I didn't know this.
Wait, so he said he's Italian, then he said he's Jewish. Like, what the fuck? But you know what? He sound like one though. When you hear him speak, he sound like a New Yorker too, man.
He is from New York.
And he is Jewish. To have some objective morality, like we all need to agree what is right, what is wrong. There's no grey area in between. We shouldn't stand for anything bad happening to any other people. Yeah, cool, but like this whole
massive organization.
Speaking to the choir, everybody knows that. Okay, not interesting.
Yeah. So that simply means that it doesn't really matter what side of the seesaw you're on, you fucking dumbass, because
everyone knows that. Not interesting.
The group that owns the seesaw is the one that's actually running your fucking country. So
everyone knows that. Not interesting.
Why? So no, it's not Christians. Christians are they're subservient to this group. Anyway, the point still stands, though. We don't have, as the brother was saying, as black people, you don't really have anybody that's representing you. They're not representing America. They're representing their interests. And it doesn't matter what side of the coin you flip. Still,
not interesting. We all know that.